As the gun debate heats up around this nation, does it ever go down? Some on the left are calling for a full repeal of the Second Amendment, including one Supreme Court justice. But how is gun control working with other nations? You're not going to believe this. A new report from the London Times reveals that the murder rate in London has surpassed New York City for the first time in modern history, despite London's strict gun laws that really kicked in the 1920s. So what can the U.S. learn from these numbers and what to avoid? Former UK Independence Party leader, Fox News contributor Nigel Farage joins us right now. Nigel, I was stunned by this. Were you?
Yeah. No, I'm afraid the rise of violent crime in London has been going on now for some years. It isn't just gun crime. There's been a 40% rise in knife crime during the course of the last decade, and the new phenomenon of acid attacks. So we really have got a big problem in some of the boroughs of London. And what we're seeing, this is not about rules, it's about policing. And we used to have something called stop and search, where the police would stop a suspect to see whether they were carrying a knife. We've stopped doing that. Do you know why? Because the police are too fearful of being thought to be racist if they pick up somebody who's black. So what you've now got is political correctness is killing people in London.
Well, and why here, which is not exactly devoid of political correctness, don't we seem to have the problem in a major city that the thought was going to be, ridden with crime in the 1970s and part of the 80s?
Yeah, but also, there is a thing here called leadership, isn't there? I mean, just think about Giuliani in New York. He led from the front. He worked with the police. They got real tough with the criminals. In London, I mean, you won't believe this, but the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has not visited a single crime site or spoken to any of the bereaved families. So there is a total absence of leadership, political correctness within the police force. And, we have very strict gun laws, as you've mentioned, but even when guns are illegal, bad guys still carry them.
Right, absolutely. Now, let's move on to something else. Former President of Mexico, Vicente Fox, doesn't miss a chance to go after President Trump. Now he says because of President Trump, America is about nationalism instead of being about globalism. Vicente Fox, is he somebody we should be learning from?
No, and I've been doing a series of debates in universities over America this week, explaining to people that actually the kind of globalism that people like Fox supports is a globalism in which bureaucracy takes over from democracy, in which the nation state, frankly, gets degraded. And I'm trying to explain to students in American universities who've been told that Brexit and Trump are terrible, that actually what happened in 2016 is we voted to take back control of our lives and our nations, and they shouldn't be scared. They should be excited about the future.
Yeah, and as you know, when Brexit happened, your economy was supposed to collapse. The European Union was supposed to leave you isolated. And what has happened? Almost nothing bad. You continue to thrive, and now the people of Britain seem to have a sense of pride that wasn't there maybe when they gave everything to Brussels and all their power. Nigel, thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.